So who's in my Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2005? Up first, Bad News Brown. Prior to wrestling, Bad News Brown was actually an active judo competitor. He even won the bronze medal at the '76 Olympics. As a wrestler, he was mean, nasty, and always played by his own rules. PWI ranked him 187 in their years list. On this channel, he was ranked in our top 10 back in 1988 at number 6. Up next, Big John Studd. A true giant in professional wrestling, every territory that John Studd was in, he found success. He's a former tag champion. He's a former Royal Rumble winner. PWI awarded him and Killer Kowalski as the Executioners the Tag Team of the Year in 1976. He was also ranked number 60 in their years list. And he was inducted in the WWE and WCW Hall of Fame. Up next, Brad Armstrong. A part of the Armstrong family, he had a long run in WCW where he also wrestled as Fantasia and BA. He's a former light heavyweight and six-man tag champion. PWI awarded him Rookie of the Year in 1982. In 1992, he was ranked 63 in their top 500, and he was ranked 270 on their Leaders list. Up next, Brian Clark. He also wrestled as Night Stalker, Atom Bomb, and Wrath. He reached his biggest success as one half of Chronic. Clark was one of those guys who knew how to evolve with the times. He's a former tag champion. PWI ranked him 47 in their top 500 in 1995. He was also ranked at 466 on their years list. Up next, Buff Bagwell. One of the most recognizable faces from WCW in the 90s. He really broke out when he joined the NWO. He's a former tag champion. PWI ranked him 66 in their top 500 in 1999. They also ranked him 221 in their years list. Up next, Diamond Dallas Page. A true Cinderella story in professional wrestling. He started off as a manager in the AWA in the 80s before jumping over to WCW. In 1991, he decided to try his hand as a wrestler. And a nice little piece of trivia for you, he's the only person to defend the U.S. title in a main event on pay-per-view. He's a former World, Tag, U.S., TV, and European champion. He was the fourth person to be a WCW Triple Crown winner. He won the Lord of the Ring tournament. PWI awarded him Feud with Randy Savage, Most Hated Wrestler, and Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. He was ranked number 4 back-to-back years in the top 5 or in their top 500 in 1997 and 1998, and he was ranked number 65 in their years list. On this channel, he was a 2-time top wrestler champion. He's been ranked in our top 10 twice, number 6 in 96 and number 3 in 98. And since he was the top wrestler, was in our top 10, and now in the Hall of Fame, he is now a member of the exclusive Triple Diamond Club. Up next, Doink the Clown. Matt Bourne is a second-generation wrestler. He wrestled as Big Josh, but is most remembered as Doink the Clown. He's a former U.S. Tag and 6-man Tag Champion. PWI ranked him number 26 in their top 500 back in 1992. They also ranked him number 398 on their years list. And he was in our top 10 back in 1991 at number 6. Up next, Don Muraco. The Rock, Don Muraco, will best be remembered for his WWF run and the Fuji Vice skits. He's a former World and Intercontinental Champion. He was the first King of the Ring. PWI ranked him number 102 in their top 500 back in 1991. He was also ranked number 50 in their years list. And he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Up next, Dustin Rhodes, the son of the legendary Hall of Famer, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, known as The Natural and also wrestles as Goldust. No matter how weird or flamboyant he looked, he could always back it up in the ring. He's a former tag, intercontinental, US, hardcore, and six-man tag champion. He won PWI's Most Improved Wrestler of the Year award. They ranked him number 11 in their top 500 in 1996. They also ranked him number 126 on their years list. On this channel, he is a two-time top wrestler champion. He has been in our top 10 three times. Number 9 in 91, number 3 in 92, and number 4 in 1994. And now that he's a Hall of Famer too, he joins his dad in the exclusive Triple Diamond Club. Up next, Dynamite Kid. He finally joins Davey in the Hall of Fame. Best known as one half of the British Bulldogs, he's also known for influencing an entire generation with his wrestling style. He's a former tag champion. PWI ranked him on both of their years list, number 41 as a singles wrestler and number 5 as the British Bulldogs as a tag team. On this channel, he has been in our top 10 twice. He was number 5 back-to-back years in 85 and 86. Up next, Giant Gonzalez. Giant Gonzalez in the WWF and El Gigante in the WCW. Gonzalez is the tallest man to wrestle in either company. And while he was never much of a technical wrestler, the sight of him was sheer spectacle. PWI ranked him at number 112 in their top 500 in 1991. They also ranked him at number 498 on their years list. On this channel, he was in our top 10. He was number 2 in 1991. Up next, Harley Race. A true legend, 8-time world champion. He was the very first U.S. champion, and he's one of the very few to be inducted into the NWA, WWE, and WCW Hall of Fames. He's a former world, tag, and U.S. champion, former King of the Ring. PWI awarded him Wrestler of the Year twice and Match of the Year 3 times versus Dory Funk Jr., Dusty Rhodes, and Ric Flair. He was also on their years list, ranking in at number 8, and he has been inducted in the NWA, WCW, and WWE Hall of Fames. Up next, Jushin Thunder Liger. Liger is a Japanese and cruiserweight legend. He based his character off of a popular anime, has the distinction of wrestling on the very first Nitro match. He's a former light heavyweight champion. PWI ranked him number 8 on their top 500 in 2000. They also ranked him on both of their years list, number 12 as a singles wrestler and number 47 with El Samurai as a tag team. Up next, Kevin Nash. He wrestled under the names of Oz and Vinny Vegas, but is better known as Diesel and Kevin Nash. He was the longest reigning world champion in the 90s. He was a member of the Clique. He was also a founding member of the NWO and the Wolfpack. He headlined Starrcade, where he beat the undefeated Goldberg. He's a former world, tag, and intercontinental champion. He's a former WWE Triple Crown champion. He won World War III. PWI awarded him Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Outsiders, Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, and Match of the Year versus Shawn Michaels. They also ranked him number 1 on their top 500 in 1995. He was also ranked number 59 on their years list. And on this channel, he's a 5-time top wrestler champion and was ranked number 5 in our top 10 in 1995. That makes him a member of the Triple Diamond Club. Up next, King Kong Bundy. Master of the 5 count, always in a bad mood, headlined WrestleMania, the first Survivor Series, and the first November to Remember. PWI ranked him at number 147 in their top 500 in 1995. They also ranked him number 124 on their years list. Up next, the Made Man, Tracy Smothers. Tracy has wrestled all over, maybe best known as a member of the FBI. He's a former tag and U.S. tag champion. PWI ranked him number 371 on their years list. Up next, Marvelous Marc Mero. He's a former amateur boxer and former New York Golden Gloves champion. Wrestled as Johnny B. Bad and the Wild Man. Will be most remembered for his feud with his wife Sable. He's a former Intercontinental and TV champion, won the World Cup of Wrestling as part of Team WCW. PWI awarded him Rookie of the Year. He was also ranked number 43 in their top 500 in 1996, and he was ranked number 264 on their years list. On this channel, he's a former Top Wrestler champion and ranked in at number 10 2 years in a row. He was number 8 in 94 and 95. That makes him eligible to join the Triple Diamond Club. Up next, Mike Enos. Wrestled as the Masked Skyscraper, but is best remembered as Blake Beverly, one half of the Beverly Brothers. He's a former tag champion. PWI awarded him and his brother the Rookie of the Year award. He was ranked number 101 in their top 500 in 1992 and was ranked number 439 in their years list. Up next, Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare. He's a former tag, US, TV, and 6-man tag champion. PWI awarded him Feud of the Year with Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors versus the Four Horsemen, and Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year. And on this channel, he has been in our top 10 in 1987, coming in at number 8. Up next, Pat O'Connor, the legendary wrestler from a bygone era. Before going pro, Pat was an accomplished amateur wrestler. He has the distinction of holding both the NWA and AWA world titles at the same time. He was the first AWA world champion. After his death, WCW honored him by hosting the Pat O'Connor Memorial International Cup Tag Team Tournament. He's a former world, tag, and 6-man tag champion. Up next, Raymond Rougeau. Raymond joins his brother Jacques in the Hall of Fame, best known as one half of the fabulous Rougeau brothers. After his retirement, he became a member of the French announce team in the WWF. PWI ranked him 291 in their top 500 in 1994. Up next, Stan Lane. Sweet Stan Lane was a tag team specialist, best known for his runs with the Midnight Express and the Heavenly Bodies. Later in his career, he became a backstage interviewer. He's a former tag and US tag champion. PWI awarded the Midnight Express Tag Team of the Year. Up next, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rattlesnake, considered to be one of the greatest of all time. Started off as Stunning Steve Austin. However, when he became Stone Cold and started feuding with Vince McMahon, that is when his career took off. He would go on to headline WrestleMania 4 times. Holds the record for most Royal Rumble wins. Unfortunately, an injury he suffered at the SummerSlam 97 would shorten his career. He's a former World, Tag, Intercontinental, US, TV, and $1 Million champion. Former Royal Rumble winner and King of the Ring. WWF Triple Crown champion. PWI awarded him Feud of the Year twice, both versus Mr. McMahon. Match of the Year versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. Most Hated Wrestler, Most Popular Wrestler, Rookie of the Year, and Wrestler of the Year 3 times. They also ranked him number 1 on their top 500 2 years in a row, 98 to 99. They ranked him on both of their years list. Number 19 as a singles wrestler, and number 50 as the Hollywood Blondes as a tag team. On this channel, he's a former 7-time top wrestler champion, and has been in our top 10 5 times. Number 3 in 93, number 10 in 96, number 2 in 97, number 1 in 98, and number 5 in 01. This makes him eligible for the Triple Diamond Club. And he has been chosen to be the head of the class for 2005. Up next, Tatsumi Fujinami, a Japanese wrestling legend, best remembered here in America for his bouts with Ric Flair. Nicknamed the Dragon, he invented the Dragon Sleeper and the Dragon Suplex. Bret Hart once cited him as one of his inspirations. He's a former world champion. PWI ranked him on both of their years list, number 31 as a singles wrestler and number 12 number 12 with Antonio Inoki as a tag team. Up next, Tommy Rich. Wildfire. Went as Thomas Rich with his brief stint with the York Foundation, former world and 6-man tag champion. PWI awarded him Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, and Most Popular Wrestler. They also ranked him number 117 on their years list. Up next, Tully Blanchard. Tag Team Specialist, best remembered as one half of the Brainbusters and as a member of the legendary Four Horsemen. He's a former tag, US, and TV champion. PWI awarded him Feud of the Year, Horsemen versus Superpowers and the Road Warriors, and Tag Team of the Year, as the Brainbusters. They also ranked him number 52 on their years list. And on this channel, he was in our top 10 back in 1987, coming in at number 4. Up next, Van Hammer. He may not have been high on the card, but he was always able to adapt at the times. PWI ranked him at number 112 on their top 500 in 1993. He was also on their years list at number 402. And finally, Vincent. As Virgil, he was the $1 Million Man's bodyguard. As Vincent, he was personal security for the NWO. He's a former $1 Million champion. PWI ranked him at number 74 in their top 500 in 1992. They also ranked him number 483 on their years list. So congratulations everyone for making it into the Hall of Fame class of 2005.